let's see how would it be, how will it go this time. All right, I'm gonna try to do a better job of checking the status of the stream so that if it does freeze, I will fix it as soon as I can. Okay. Anyways, I should stop fussing with OBS. All right. So what do I want to write for this command? What to write? Well, let's look at it again. C-H. Okay, so far there's no message. There is I don't know why that says C. Is that because I typed C? If I type check, it will say check. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so message here should explain a bunch of things. Examples here should print out a bunch of examples. I guess example, because the flags I kind of like them to be on top-ish. So the example shouldn't be too long. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's try something. So what do we want to write here? We want to write what this does. Well, that's kind of all I want to write. Let me read the tutorial and for some inspiration, because you know, that is, I put some thoughts into this, right? So when I use this subcommand, options, customize behavior, finds problem existing doc strings, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so the tricky part of this is like you can write, you can use it this way. I can literally steal these examples. Yeah, let's just do that right now. Why not? Right. Okay. I mean, these texts is in the same repository, so let's go with getting started. It's always a good sign that your inline documentation looks similar to your actual documentation, right? That's the whole point of. It's supposed to, technically the word is online documentation. You know what I mean? Like, because online. You know, this line is pretty good. I'll definitely want to include this one because this is one line that people can copy and kind of hit the ground running, right? Assuming they have a Swift PM project. And then this is the longer, more extensive examples. I want some text to be associated with these examples as well. Let's indent them a little. And then I guess the indentation should associate with them with the text. So here we'll say like Okay. I need to be mindful of the columns here. Okay. Okay, that's some good example. And it's kind of has the equivalent information from as the tutorial, so that's good. So let's run that again and see how it looks. Oh. Oh. I guess I'll have to escape these guys. Awkward. Okay. I feel like these lines need some indentation themselves. And then this needs to be further indented. Oops. Okay. Yeah, the example is more useful now. Okay. Whew. Getting close. Well, hopefully the stream is not cutting out anymore. I haven't observed any. When it happens, I look over to OBS over there, and I immediately see that my camera is not moving. Yeah, I can't even imagine how I would notice that if I don't have the camera. So like, yeah, probably never would have. I also watched the stream, and sometimes when the camera froze, the voice kept coming. Yeah, so what I did is I lowered the bitrate between the two max as well as the upper link to Twitch. So hopefully, I also disabled Wi-Fi on the streaming Mac. Just try a bunch of things. Maybe I'll tune that. Maybe I think the Wi-Fi is what makes a difference. I also have Ethernet plugged in. I'll gradually experiment with turning up the bitrate going forward because I'd like to have a good archive of the video as well. Anyways, So the tricky part, as mentioned earlier, about this command is it, in addition to taking these command line arguments for customizing the behavior, it also can read from a configuration file. So the explanation for it should be one, agnostic regarding the two methods, and two, also explain the two methods themselves. All right, so let's say check files, source files for DrString problems given paths. Okay. Let me try this. Let's make a, this is also a bit of a test, right? So if I write include equals, how about this? And then I run Swift run docstring check. Does it do the right thing? No. Include expected in type. What if I run just docstring? That's not great. That's something to fix. Because I was expecting this to use the config file. Docstring.toml. That's what I have here, right? Docstring.toml. Well, interestingly, found a little bug here already. What was that? Docstring. I mean, it's not misspelled. Misaligned address error. Oh, wait. Can I do this? Okay, interesting. Yeah, so the first problem is I'm not sure why, but when you run DocString, this project in debug build, its dependency will, because I'm using GCD, I think Swift syntax for some reason doesn't work well under GCD when it's parallelized. But more importantly, why is this out being printed? Hold on. Because this, in this case, this should be the last thing you see. But it did work as expected, right? Oh, wait. Let me try this as well. So this did not work. When you run the top level command, it did work. However, it did print out the error as well. Interesting. So let's look at the main command. The main command found that this function did not return an exit success. What? But clearly this function ran, right? So this function did not return exit success. It returned nil, probably. Well, it should have. Right? Oh, wait. Yeah, I deliberately returned not exit success here. Oh, this is a mistake I made last night. Yeah, so this is being returned, which is obviously not exit success. In fact, I probably should return exit failure here. Right? And the other return as well. Oops. This one. Nope. Okay, that one. So the question is, do I want to change the semantic of this? I mean, no, right? Because I just want to return an exit code. Well, the problem is it doesn't really fix the bug, removing the optionality, because when you found problems, you're supposed to return. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Fuck this. I know what to do. I know what to do. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pound on this. Make sure things build and works as is. Yep, okay. Make test, make sure tests run. Actually, I want to revert those changes. Changed my mind. I do want to include that one. I do want to jump on here and revert everything. But yeah, because I want to separate the concerns of the changes I'm making and focus on the documentation for now. So to do this is run check returning non-success could mean it found problems. We want that to be the overall status code, but in that case, we should not print help messages. Okay. So the actual solution probably it has something to do with returning an enum that indicates success, failure, and success from problem and failure. So that's the actual solution here. Yeah, so I'm gonna add this here and go back to writing the messages. All right, so where were we? Let's look at it. Run this check-h. Okay, so far so good. I wonder if I should link to link to the documentation online, because there's no way I'm including all the documentations. But I do want to say something regarding their availability, the fact that they exist, as well as so let's write it down. So I want flags options availability, and then the next one is config file. Okay, let's write these. So for this, flags can be used to customize to specify preferred style in doc. So I kind of want a link to this. Kind of want to learn more. Right? Also is all right. Fine. The problem with linking to it is like if you're using an older version of the software and you go and look at the documentation on master, you'll end up seeing something that may not exist in the software yet. No, I'm not gonna, because the command line help is supposed to be self-sufficient, so I'm gonna skip that and say this is like good enough. Yeah. All right. Let's mention the config file. Including those methods, blah blah blah. Aliases example. Yeah, that's at least much better than where I started. So check those in. So this file has a little bug fix and then lots of enhancement in documentation. Great. This file. Wait, what is that? Okay, just some enhancement to explain itself. This is the to do. All right, let's check all these in. Okay, so the last piece that's left regarding documentation is the main command, because right now is empty. It's empty. Also, we need to fix that bug. Okay. Yeah, so when you run the main command with -h, it just prints out this. I guess this, so similar to the command for check subcommand, documentation for check subcommand is piece of the tutorial. This command is more like the README itself, right? Because now we're talking about potentially someone just stumble into this command and just, with an autocomplete or something, and they type enter, and then they should see some reasonable message that tells them, oh, why this exists, right? Something along that lines. But my README is kind of sparse because I cheated by using an image to demonstrate what is going on here. This may need some improvement as well. I may file an issue for that. You know what? I kind of like the sparseness. I also really like the fact that instead of embedding everything, it's just a glossary or table of content. And you have to click into things. And at that time, you're kind of invested. I'm not playing the game or anything like that, but I like the sparseness of this page. But I may change my mind. Okay, so now that makes this a little bit more challenging because I need to come up with something original as opposed to reuse things, right? Again, let me jump to definition and find the initializer here. Okay, so we don't want to specify ROM. We don't want to specify aliases, no parent, because this is the top level. We kind of want an example. We don't really need flags. Not yet. Yeah, this is something I need to think about. Actually, I need to file an issue for this. So try to explain what I'm thinking. So this utility has subcommands, right? So when you run it, you have to run like git. You give it a subcommand to tell it what to do. But one of the options, at least in my mind, should apply to all commands, which is the output format. The output format can, when it's in a terminal, it can print out colors like this. But sometimes you don't want colors. Those times are like when you run it and pipe the output or the error to a file, for example. Any device that's not really a terminal. So in that case, like either you want that to happen automatically, or you strongly prefer, you specify that you just want plain text. And in both cases, the output should like be plain text, not colored, but also some of the output content actually needs to change, right? Instead of being colored, these things are like backquoted, for example, when necessary. So that option should apply to every single command, every single subcommand. In the future, there will be more. Right now, there are only 2. So that's why it exists for all commands. But that's not really true right now because, as you can see, the main command does not take any flags. So that's something I need to file and fix later. Yeah. So let's file issue. Main command does not support the format flag. I wish this is Vim. Should apply to all commands main sub. Today it only works for check. Quote check. Contextualize this. This is a bug. This, I don't want to let that be a blocker for 2.2. It's tempting to include in 0.3, but we'll just leave it and we'll have a plan session for 0.3 separately. Okay, good. More problems. All right, now I can ignore that. And coming back to working on this. I'm very curious as to what a short message does to the main command. Short message here, burp. right? And long message. We'll ignore that. Examples. Okay. So long message right here. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what short message give us because I can't think of a way to make it show up. Yeah, I don't think we need a short message. Okay, so I actually want to add addendum to the previous command. This guy, which is configure option equivalent equals when it's a config file is used. I don't like this. I thought this is the behavior. So when I type this, no, check something first. So we have the config file. I thought this is equivalent with this when there's a config file. But it isn't. So I want to fix that. Why though? DocString check. So when I run that, this happens, right? Check with flags. I mean, it should be the same. I'm a little confused. What's being returned here? Or did I not save? Also, why compile now? Yeah, so after this, I guess there's nothing else to do other than release it, which is kind of exciting. Wow, this is taking forever. Okay. Mysteries upon mysteries. See why? So somehow changing the pipe cause it to recompile. Whatever. So I've been running it with the check command without any arguments, right? So assume that will call this block, which in turn call this guy, which is defined right here, which is where I added the logs. But the logs have should print something either true or false, right? Unless this has something to do with GCD. Yeah, not sure. Do I need Xcode for this? Nothing prints. Why? Seriously. So the check command is not being run even. Do I have like a pre-run thing? Explain command has a pre-run. So this is not even being invoked, right? Oh. But as soon as I include anything, it will work, right? This is fine. Also, when this runs, does my, yeah, all of these start to work. Weird. So I assume the framework Guaca is messing with my expectation here. Oh, I know. Because I said this flag is required. I see. I see. So now it has become a design problem. Now that I know how to fix it. So the way I fix it is this. Instead of saying values equal, I should say type is like this. So this uses a different initializer for this flag, which basically calls the flag to be instead of basically calls it to be optional. So when you say value or values, the required is true. But when you say when you just say the type, the default value is, you can still say the value is true, but it's required being true, but you don't have to. The default value is false. So that's what's happening. So having made that change, if I run it again without this flag, it should do what I expect. Yeah, it should. Yeah, basically it picked up the config file and did the work, right, without complaining. So now the question is, do I want it to work this way? Because it's kind of nice to have to have it be optional. And the only way to run check without that without the flag is to have a config file. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I forgot about that. So this is required. Command Guaca won't run the subcommand. All right, so I think it's best to leave it as required and explain how to actually use this. I also think that means my documentation is wrong. Let's look. Getting started. Config file. Well, actually, the documentation is correct. So if this is the documentation in the current working directory, I simply run DrString, will cause DrString to do the exact same thing as command line. Actually, it should say something like the same thing as an argument example with check subcommand. That's clearer, right? Now the question is, what do I need to say when I'm explaining this in check? So again, when I run check, this is what I see. Config file can be used instead of command line options to specify preferred style. I'm reading here. The option is equivalent in both methods. Okay, still good, except use invoke DocString directly instead of this subcommand. Okay. I'm thinking. So this is not true. Invoke that instead of this is not true. Because when you actually use the check subcommand with the required include present, we actually do use the config file. Instead, the actual include flag will actually get ignored. Design problems that I overlooked. So that may need to change at all as well. It's kind of nice to have check and the main command, the subcommand and main command to be equivalent. This is so hard. Okay. Yeah. So that flag is still, is no longer required. However, let's say I don't have this file and I run this, right? You still get this message. And let's see, the exit status should still be non-success. So it's not bad, right? Yeah, it's not bad. The only weird part is this prefix. I may want to take that out. We'll see. Okay. Now let's get back to writing the messages here, right? Let's start with the title. How about let's give it a 20 column header, right? So it looks pretty official when you run. Long message. Okay. DrString. A Swift DrString linter formatter. Linter formatter nitpicker. Yeah, I want to add some color to the language, obviously. I want to make an impression, right? Okay. DrString helps you find DrString formatting, DrString problems in your code base. Swift code. Be it missing documentation or white space errors. Find your find. And fix. Okay, that's a good intro paragraph in my opinion. So now what? I mean, I definitely want to include this link. Well, not this link. This link. Let's take some inspiration from some of my favorite software, right? Let's see what FCF does. Straight up usage, blah, no intro, whatever. What about RG? Blah 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 blah. Uh-huh. Project homepage. Okay. I mean, this is good enough, I suppose. Debating about this header. I definitely should include a version. Yeah, actually, let's make a issue for that. Doop. Actually, what does happen when I run? Nothing, right? Okay. Definitely include that in this release. Definitely is a enhancement. Okay, but it should be very easy to do. So now I'm thinking, should I have like a version.swift and then let version equals right? So now I can say version yeah, I like that. What else does RG say? RG also includes include a line about the author, huh? What should I link? Should I link to my site? Should I link to my Twitter? Twitter. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Actually, yeah, it's fine. I'll take out the author line because I'm not the only author, right? I won't be if this project is successful. I'm going to include a new line here to create some separation. Okay. Let's include some examples. Lint everything, every Swift source under sources. DocString check -I sources check everything for problems. Problem. I kind of like no indentation now. Oops. Like really no indentation. I don't know, it's hard. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Good enough. Right? Okay, so let's prepare for the pull request. I kind of want to separate this two set of changes. The change that where I, you know what? How about three sets of changes? The change where I did some refactoring, the change where I added a bunch of text for help, and then the change that makes the check command option non-optional. All right, three changes. More details to help to online help. All right, so that's one thing. This one does that. I want to verify one thing, which is in getting started. What did I change there? Getting started. Okay. Wait. Did I not? Built in docs. Please. Okay. 200 lines. Minus, so 100 pure addition. Oh, we have almost 4,000 lines of code. Some of which are generated from text, but okay. Let's fix the thing I added here. There's another bug I added, I believe. Oh wait, I added a to do, didn't I? Main.swift. Yeah, I need to fix this. So we need to do this today. We also need we also need to fix this to do. Yeah. Yeah, so the version thing is interesting. I don't want to have to manually update the version. So what I'm thinking right now is to have a script generate that file. And yeah, when I generate it, I will also say, hey, don't edit this. I already have a file like that. Liners. So this file is generated, right? It's by a script and is part of the build process. It's also part of the CI. When I run CI, one of the step is try to generate and pick up, if git diff pick up any changes after generation, then the CI should fail. Because that means I forgot to generate something locally, right? How should I show you that? Continuous integration. Generate. Where did I? Oh, yeah, here. So in CI, I will run this target. And yeah, it uses git diff -- exit code, which will return an error code if diff has anything. Cool. So the tests are being run. So on macOS, we built the project itself. We packaged the project, which involves copying over a dynamic library as well as copying over the library and zip it and build the project itself. And then we run the tests, which we build it again, and then we run the generate artifact test. So when I write the version in the version script, it should be part of the generate thingy. So the question here is, what is the source of truth? Do I need anything? Well, that's interesting. Do I even need a separate version number? Maybe not, right? Maybe I'm overthinking it. All right, let's just work on that. Why not? Actually, I want to work on this problem first. This is a more serious problem. All right. Okay, so I want this function to return one of three values: found problems, error, and not found problems. Okay, so public enum check result, right? It will say, okay, that's interesting because when I do that, I'm delegating the task of printing the overall task to the main command. All right. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. So there's okay. There's found problems and missing input. Okay. So here we will return the check result. Check result. All right. So in this case is missing input. This case we have found problems. In this case we have okay. All right. So now when I build, we will see compiler errors. Yeah, that's the next thing I want to fix, which is I think Tamil decoder is being compiled super slowly when it's in release mode. So I need to fix that because when I wrote that, I kind of copied it from JSON decoder, which is part of the standard library. So they have to make everything file private, and the whole implementation is confined in a single file. I think that's the reason why it's super slow, because the file is big. I'm not sure if breaking it up really helps, but in case it does, right? Okay, so here, what do I want to do? Where is my to-do? Here. All right, so so in either of these cases, we'll return exit success. And in the other case, return exit failure, right? I don't even know how to repro this problem anymore. So release it to check. So in this case, we're missing the input, right? So where is my error? Oh, it's not the main command, is it? That's actually okay. I'm actually okay with that. The problem now is when I do find problem, I'm not getting an error exit code anymore, right? That's wrong. That is not good. So well, let me think. 10,000 watts. Thanks for the following. Oh, that's 12 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I didn't notice it. Okay, let me think. So the problem is I want when the input is missing, that's a legit error. In that case, we want to print the help, right? It's almost as if delegating this whole thing is not worth it. But yeah, I'm going to forward this error. Let me think. My question is like, does this belong here? Like this logic is getting a little bit crowded. Yeah, so it's almost as if like what? Stop it. Okay. This ideally I want to encapsulate this. This doesn't belong here because this is logic and this is supposed to be done by the other module instead of the command line module. I project a little bit into the future. One of the next upcoming features is we want to let users specify the location of the configuration file. Right now it's hard coded. When we do, what kind of input does the underlying module get, right? So today it's getting one of these configuration object. And this function is defining the other module. But that leaves the problem of resolving the content in this module. So the configuration today is like a pretty pure struct. So the question now is, it could come from a bunch of command line arguments, but it could also be read from a toml file. And I basically want to encapsulate the logic that looks for the toml file as part of this, right? So if we deal with the toml file, this is the only input for the toml file. Everything else should be okay. All right, so okay, so the input, so I could invoke, yeah, okay. I know what to do now. So we'll encapsulate, we'll add a new initializer to configuration so that it takes a path, right? But it's failable, so it will fail in case it doesn't, and then no, because that doesn't solve the problem of oh, at least it delegates this logic inside. Okay. So that's something. It's not worth it. Okay, all right. Overthinking. So really what I want to do here is to bubble up this problem. When we found problem, the exit status for the entire command should be failure. If it's okay, then it should exit with success. If it's missing input, then it should, yeah, okay. Perfect. All right. Backtrack a little bit, check result. Let's just bubble it up, right? Okay. So I want to switch on this. In case it's okay, we do nothing. In case there's problem, we exit with exit failure. In case it's missing input, I want to print this help out. How do I do that? I think I did something similar here, maybe. No, that's in the pre-run. Let me look at what's in post-run. Post-run. Post-run, after the parsing matches the subcommand, post-run is called after run. If post-run returns true, then inheritable post-run is executed next. If post-run returns false, the execution ends. What if I have a two-step? Can I do this? Var check command dot run equals flags arguments in so here I can finally okay, more like so I'll put this whole thing into this thingamajig, right? And then I just thingamajig this. Yeah. This would be command equals, and then this guy will be a let again, and everything in between I will search for check command and replace it with command. So this should work now, right? Exit failure, please. Okay. Guaca. Okay. That reminds me of this. When it's an error, I actually want to do this instead. And that makes me have to import the C library, which is fine. Does this build? We'll find out. Okay. I actually need to do this again here. In fact, this won't build because of this. Good stuff. So back to the check command. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. This whole thing, let's do the same thing. Move it in here. Actually, yeah, that still needs to be a var. Let command equals this, and search for main command. Replace its command. Give it an indentation. What? Okay, now I go back and copy that little switch block. Actually, yeah, this can be refactored now. Now is everything super clear. Okay, got it. So what I really need to do is leave delegate this as part of this, and instead of forwarding that, I can just get rid of it and help text is included, should be included, and we'll just print it here, right? May even print the help here as well. Perfect. Just notice this is missing a new line. So here, instead of calling it and doing all this work and repeating that in the other place, I simply do this and supply the help message. Perfect. In the main command, it's the same line of code, right? Oh. How is this going? Okay, rebase and merge. Yay. I'll drag this over here because I'm literally going to work on this next. Oh, compiler error. Oh yeah, of course. Yay! Tests are passing. I think we fixed our problems. Let's look at the changes. We added a new type to indicate the actual result of checks to accurately reflect what could be the results. We did a little refactor such that the check function, let me think. Yeah, the check function actually takes the newly entered result and react accordingly. And we also took away the responsibility for reacting to the result of check from both the main and the check function per Guaca, our framework, such that it's concentrated, it's not repeated. Yeah, this is kind of beautiful. What is this? Yeah. Another changes. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna checking two separate things here. First is this. It should be print explain help when error in SD error when appropriate. When we print it because before exiting with error, it should appear in std error. Okay. Now the rest. What is this set of changes? This set of changes is for print help when check fails appropriately when it's invoked as main command help for main shall be printed when it's invoked as the check command corresponding help shall be printed when we exit because problems were found. Do not print help. Okay, good enough. And I kind of want to rebase this. Rebase origin master. What's this? Help. Okay. what's this set of changes? Adjust how help is printed in case of error exits. Okay. Wait for CI, right? All right. Onward. Let's add that version flag for the main command. I'll just grab one here. Actually, guaca. Get guaca. Let's see how they implement this. So we got long name, short name, long name, value, description, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Short name first, right? Short name, V, long name, that. Let's organize our code a little bit. Value is false. Print the version, yes. What else? What else can we do here? Fix the trailing white spaces. What else? What else? Value description, inheritable, required. Oh, of course, it's not required. So in the body of the main command, we probably want. Well, let's just keep copying. Why bother? All right. So this, my friends, this is the classic mistake of interface design in command line utilities. When you include a version, make sure the output is structured data. Do not use English like this, because when you actually integrate a command line tool in tooling, either in CI or in larger projects, there are usually dedicated teams to do this. They will want to check that version and the version itself. If you do a sentence like this, they are forced to parse out the version string, which is really bad. So just like keep it simple. If you are providing like data, that's like a kind of a vague definition. But don't be fancy when the data can be structured as part of your output, right? And the indentation obviously is atrocious. Yeah. Okay. What does this do? Swift run configuration DrString -help. I'm out of drinks. I'm gonna grab a drink. Oh, this is taking longer than I thought. Hopefully we'll be done with DocString very quickly. Oh yeah, of course. Version. Also, let's make this file private, right? Because I'm about to do the same thing here. So now this flag is point free. All right. It doesn't have a name anymore because it's not necessary. Let's leave it comma for good measures. Right? Check. Oh, I actually called it check flags. It's still good practice to call it to make it file private, I mean. All right. So I need to add flags here, somewhere in here. Is it here? Is this the right? No. So flag is after long message. But before example. And that is really arbitrary. Also, just realize formatting problems. Okay. Oh, hey, that worked, right? Flags -v prints the version. Now if I do -v, we got the version. We got -version. It should also get the version. Perfect. Beautiful. Fantastic. How's my pull request doing? Merge. Implement version. Enough said, right? I can delete all these branches actually. Config doc, help, improve CLI, privatize, release. Wait, what's in release? Oh, okay. Okay. So this pull request closes number 60. Okay. I think we're in a pretty good position now. Okay. So is this ready? After I merge this, I can tag the release. And then I'll push my formula, right? Let's find the formula. Homebrew formula. All right, let's go to pull request, closed pull request. We'll look at this guy and it's gonna be 0.2.0 linter formatter false. Wait, there's something about the word linter that triggers me. Linter formatter, linter format, nitpick assistant. Okay. Linter formatter. All right, whatever. So after I merge this, I'll create a tag, and the tag will have release information on top of it. Oh, I also probably need to change changelog. Tricky stuff. Add subcommand explain for problem ID explaining. Add problem IDs for each problem identified by check. Add a lot more documentation both in CLI and repo. Okay, not really a change, but whatever. New, right? Support configuration via toml file. There's just so much since 1.0, but and many new rules options for linting. Okay, good enough. I think the changelog goes directly to master because this is so slow. Oh my god. Yeah, the Docker one is almost slower because I'm not directly using Docker Hub per GitHub Action support. I'm actually using a Linux image that runs Docker, which download the Docker I want to use, and then run testing inside of that image. The reason being, I want to be able to invoke that on my Mac as well, right? So if I use the GitHub Action Docker, the Swift Docker, for example, then it's specific to GitHub. Like it's useless to me. When I want to test, run these Linux tests on my Mac, I have to have a separate setup for that. So instead, I'll just reuse that setup here. So it's a little bit slow, but it's all done now. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Merge this, which closes this, which brings us to just one problem left to do. All right. Okay, so that's origin with the latest change. This is the changelog change. So let's go. Wait, do I need V or not? V or not? Yes, V. Okay. This is official release 0.2.0. In fact, no. I did a mistake. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the tag should trigger a release task, as you see here. When this task finishes, it will build a binary and upload it, and also create a release and upload the binary into the release. I think. Okay, I'm gonna work on the, what should I call this? DrString 0.2.0. So most of this won't change other than the SHA. I need to update the SHA. That's all. Oh, here we go. That's the binary. It also has release. It has a title. Oh, that's the tag. And then I want that commit message. Cool. Okay, so now I download this. And I do a shot some this. Oh, beautiful. Now I have this. And that's for that. And then I need to also download this guy. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Probably okay. It's going to be like this, right? Okay. DrString. All right, let's give it a test. Brew uninstall DrString in case I already have installed it. Okay, now brew install formula DrString. Also, make sure I don't already have it. Okay, I don't have it. Unknown command. Now I just installed it. DrString is not unknown anymore. Okay, but it didn't print out anything. This bothers me a little. Why? Do I have a... Oh, I have a file. Interesting. Okay. Yay. All right, I want to check one more thing though. I want to check this. Yes. TMP good lib blah blah blah. All right, so it's looking for this library in this location. And does that exist? Totally does. That's what I want. That's beautiful. Okay. Now let's tweet this momentous achievement. Oh, and also, I get to close this. How do I do this? Close. All right. Now go to that other repository. Homebrew formula. Make a pull request. Man, I think I need to require Xcode or something. Not really. Okay. Actually, there is some other changes I want to make. Okay, good. Squash and merge. Very cool. Brew uninstall DrString. brew install d1 formula docstring. Oh no, what? Brew on tap. I hope this is local. Aha. Something 38. Okay. Brew install. Let's try this again. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm gonna stop the stream. Yep. Thanks for watching. I may hop back on later.